Hi there, I'm Peter Kuitenbrouwer. Welcome to our forest in Madoc, Ontario. So I grew up on a farm in Quebec and we had about 500 acres of forest. So we heated with wood and we, built a house out of wood from our own forest. So I guess I had a dream of always having my own forest, but it took a long time for that dream to come true. I've worked as a journalist my whole career, and my wife and I have our home in Toronto. And in 2010, we were able to scrape together some money and buy these 34 acres in Madoc with about 20 acres of forest. And just incidentally, the other people who are featured in this video are my son Fritz, who's 19 and who loves to spend time in Madoc and is sporting a shirt from last year's Forests Ontario conference, and our dog Coco, who always comes with us to the woods. She's almost 11 but still hanging in there and absolutely loves the forest. So the neighbors who sold us the farm, the Viriches, they suggested back about 5-6 years ago that this field, which is sort of a not very productive hay field, might be something we can convert to forest. So we heard about the 50 million tree program of Forests Ontario, and they came by and they planted 2,500 red pine trees, which I think cost us about 15 cents each. I think it was the summer of 2016, maybe. There was a terrible drought and it was full mortality. All of the trees died. So luckily they did have some money to replant, and they came back the next spring and planted them all. And as you can see, they're 5 years old now, these little red pines, and they're starting to look nice. Forest is about 3 or 4 acres of this red pine plantation that was planted in 1995 by the previous owner. And the rest of the forest, most of it is just mixed hardwood forest with predominance of maple, ash, and ironwood. So I heard about the Managed Forest Tax Incentive Program, and then in 2016 we had a local forester, Matt Mertens, write a managed forest plan for this forest. And basically the managed forest plan is pretty simple. It has 3 components. One of them is to manage the woodlot and basically use some of the wood for firewood. Another part of it is that we want to make a little bit of maple syrup, so we're actually in the process of building a sugar shack right now. And then the other component is that Matt suggested that since we are wanting to have maple syrup, then maybe we should thin out the ironwood. So really, when I come for a walk with the dog in the morning, I usually am walking with a bow saw and cutting ironwood, cutting small poles of ironwood, which I then burn in to heat my maple sap in the winter for the sugaring off. And generally what I've noticed is that as I've cut back the ironwood, the maple's had more light and the maple is starting to really thrive around here. So this is the little sugar shack unfinished that I have been building with Fritz, our son. And it's been taking a long time because we don't have really much money or that much time. But anyway, it's a fabulous and fun project. And as you can see, just this summer, as I was mentioning, we have a red pine plantation, and we have been thinning out some of the red pine. We had a portable sawmill come and cut them into 1x6s. And then Fritz and I have nailed them on. It's pretty artisanal. All of the windows are found on the street in Toronto. And as you can see, there's a cupola for the steam to escape. Everything is very simple and also unfinished, but if you come with me, I'll just show you briefly inside. There's not that much to see. Again, a door found on the street in Toronto. And inside, the concept is that eventually this will become over here will become a sliding door, and there will be a woodshed out there to bring the wood in, and the evaporator is going to sit right here, and I've reinforced the floor for the evaporator, and the steam will rise up through the cupola. The sap will come in from a sort of a storage container that will be at the end on the hillside, and because we're on a hill, we'll be able to use gravity-fed tubing, hopefully, to flow some of the sap into the evaporator to make maple syrup. So I was having such a good time with forestry that in 2017, after 20 years at the National Post, I quit my job and I went back to school to the Faculty of Forestry at the University of Toronto to get a Master of Forest Conservation. And then a couple years ago, I wrote the exam to become a Managed Forest Plan Approver. So in fact, I'm doing more than just managing my own forests. I'm also writing forest plans for lots of other people in Hastings County, Prince Edward County, and other areas around. So if you need a more managed forest plan and you're not too far from here, please look me up on the Harvest Hastings website, or happy to talk to you. Thanks a lot.